all right. Let's get it popping. Let's get straight to it. Now, it is August, halfway through August. We got September, October, November, December. We'll be going into 2027. Now, you've had enough break since the presidential election, and we need to see some moving and some shaking when it comes to reparations. Now, I gave everybody a little bit of time after the presidential election. I said, let me give you all some time. You're probably beat over the head with reparations and the election, but it's getting a little ridiculous now. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me, you know what I'm saying? If you ask me, it's getting ridiculous, because it don't make no sense that we ain't really making no real moves towards reparations like that. And it don't make no sense that the conversation on reparations, as weak as it is, and it's extremely weak. I ain't gonna lie. You don't see conversations on actual reparations nowhere. I mean, I don't. I ain't gonna say nowhere. I see Vet Carnell. She's staying on point. I ain't gonna overlook her. But I'm saying the people though, you can't expect the leadership by themselves, dolo solo, to speak up for us. Everybody want reparations. Why you not doing your job? I don't see it posted on nobody's social media, nothing. Man, I do not see the word reparations nowhere. We got young content creators. They trying to speak up for foundational Black Americans and stuff, but they ain't being led in the right direction. They conversations is more FBA, FBA. We FBA finally, FBA finally do this, FBA finally that. Hey man, that's cool, but we ain't trying to get FBA. We trying to get reparations. It's word, sound, and power. Where is the word reparations? Make it make some sense. Yes, we want to delineate. For what though? For what? Are we explaining to the young generation what we delineating for? They don't even know. What good is it if everybody identify as FBA and you still don't get no damn reparations? Okay, you FBA, yeehaw. Okay, and like it's getting irritating. Come on in, make some noise, rep your city. I'm gonna get into it. I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it. I tried to be patient, say, let me give them some time. Maybe it'll kick off by June. And I was like, maybe it'll kick off by July. Hell, it's going to be September. What you waiting on? Another election? What are we waiting on? Somebody let me know something. Am I tripping? If I'm tripping, tell me I'm tripping. Y'all satisfied with the push for reparations? Are you satisfied with it? Am I the only one ain't satisfied? Because I'm not satisfied with it. That should be the biggest word. Reparation. Then foundational Black American. Then tether. Tether shouldn't be the biggest word. Tether should not be the most used word. The most used word need to be reparation, then foundational Black Americans, and then if you want to say tethered, go ahead. But all this tether, and no reparations, I'm not with it. You're spending all this energy beefing with tethers. Tethers do not have our reparations. It's like you scared of the government. And what it look like? It look like you weak. It look like you don't want to ask these people for the money they stole from you. You don't want to stand on that. You want to argue with somebody ain't got your money. Where we do that in the streets at? Dude owed me $5,000. So what I'm supposed to do? Go outside and beef with somebody else? Where we do that at? Listen, come on in. Let me slow down because I ain't really in a good mood. Give me say something in the chat. Where the chat at? What y'all got to say? Because I ain't really in a good mood. I don't like the direction it's going in. I feel like I'm out here beating a drum almost by myself. Where is any? I don't see reparations nowhere. And when I say nowhere, I mean nowhere. It's not posted on Facebook. It's not posted on TikTok. It's not posted on Instagram. You don't see the word nowhere. You don't see any videos with the word reparations in it. I don't see it. Where is it at? Where is it at? I see FBA a lot, which is fine. But I need to see reparations. FBA without reparations is garbage. I'm going to just keep it real. FBA, that's SMFBA. Without reparations, okay, so you FBA. You FBA in the same position you was in before you was FBA. All right. So you got a new identity, but you got the same situation. Make some sense. What good is a new description but the same situation? What's the purpose of being foundational if you ain't standing on the foundation of slavery and our money? What's up with that foundation? The foundation of your relatives getting robbed. Why you ain't standing on that? So now we got all these people trolling us because they want to troll over FBA. Which, okay, but what about reparations? Because that's what most of us was over here for. Like most of us, we've been trying to figure out how we're going to push reparations. All of that was for reparations. I don't know who got it twisted. All of that, all this internet fodder was for reparations. This is a fact. I've been here. I've been on this internet. All this was done for reparations. Now this was done just to call yourself something different. That ain't the goal. That's not the goal. The identity was supposed to link us to reparations, to what we owed. But you want to keep talking about the identity, but you don't want to talk about what we owe. It's not, it's in the back seat somewhere. How did beefing with Africans and Caribbeans trump pushing the United States government for reparations? It make us look like some chumps. Like you ain't got nothing to say to the Senate and the Congress and the president. You arguing with some African or some Caribbean that ain't got our money. I got to keep telling these Caribbeans and Africans, you ain't got my money. They be wanting to come over here and beef with me, but you ain't got my money though. I don't want to beef with you. Now, if you had my money, yeah. Why we beefing with people ain't got our money though? Where you do that in the streets? Show me that in the streets. I got to keep going back to the streets because y'all ain't representing the streets for sure. You ain't representing your great uncles, none of that. You ain't representing none of that. Because where do you overlook the people that robbed you and used your free labor and didn't pay you to beef with somebody that didn't rob you and don't owe you no money? Make that make some sense. I had a brother say, well, the African soldiers will take your ass over to Africa and beef with the chief. Why would you beef with the peon Africans? They ain't got nothing. The chiefs was behind slavery. If I'm gonna go try to beef with an African for slavery, I'm gonna go to Ghana. I'm gonna holler at the chiefs and say, when y'all gonna run that bread? I'm not gonna talk to some buster Ghanaian that don't run nothing. I mean, what we doing? Either way it go. You're gonna talk to the leadership. You're gonna talk to the leadership in Africa, the chiefs. You're gonna talk to the leadership in America, the politicians. You're not going to waste time talking to the regular people about reparations. What, I'm just mad for nothing? Say something in the chat. Where I'm at? I'm in the wrong direction. Where I'm at? There's 37 people over here. Say something. Yes, you know why it's only 37, 38 people over here? Because you don't want to be on nothing serious. They ain't coming over here for this. They look and say, oh, no, this is something serious. Let's go watch some bozo. They want a bozo title. Now, if the title said FBA can't stand Africans, it'll already be 100, 200 people over here. Oh, they going to click on that. Goofy beefs. Oh, they going to click on that. I'm going to watch the goofy beef. But when it's anti-goofy beef, they don't want to hear this. Pharaoh is messing up our fun. We having fun going back and forth with the Africans, broke Africans, beefing with broke Africans, broke Black Americans beefing with broke Africans. Great job, guys. Great job, guys. Yeah, that's going to get us reparation. That's going to help our children. That's going to help our. That's going to avenge our ancestors. Yeah, your great grandparents will be proud of you. Wasting time, not standing up for them getting cheated. Do you know how many people don't understand we standing up for our ancestors being cheated? You know that's not being expressed. So people think that reparations is just us trying to get something. They don't even know it's really, really a debt owed, that our people got robbed. That's not being expressed. You know that, right? It's not being expressed that you sitting on your ass letting that robbery slide the way they did your great-great-great-grandfathers and grandmothers when they couldn't do nothing. And now you the first ones can do something and you sitting on your ass letting that ride. I was talking about you praying and the ancestors looking down on you. And looking down on you and saying what? Boy, when you gonna get our money? Girl, when you gonna go get my money? That's what they saying. That's what I would be saying. Punk, when you gonna go get my money? Don't you know these people didn't pay me? That's what I would be saying if I was looking down on y'all. That's what I would be saying. I'd be like, y'all weak as hell. That's what I would be saying. I'd be happy y'all surviving. But I wouldn't like the fact y'all ain't avenging me for my money that I got stolen from me. The way I was mistreated, I would say y'all too soft. That's what I would say. You free for nothing. Yeah, y'all free for nothing. You might as well still been a slave. Or under Jim Crow. You ain't standing on shit. What, I'm tripping? Say something in the chat. Every time I go live, I get a bunch of grown black males over here acting like little girls, trolling and doing weirdo stuff. Ain't standing on nothing, all kind of weird names. Ain't even standing on no strong identity in the chat. Your real name, at least if you're gonna use a fake name, use something strong, something standing on something. Now you just want to play on the internet like this stuff is a game until they go fully into a casual society and we be out here flat broke. He says the conversation for reparations is too much for a dystopian. I hashtag reparations weekly. However, more people are barely starting to acknowledge it. Yeah, because they into the beef. They into the tethers this and tethers that, and they this, and that's what they into. If you look at black people, if you look at the black immigrants, and you look at us, both sides is scared of the white power structure. Both sides. The Africans and the Caribbeans, they ain't got nothing to say about the power structure. They just constantly trolling us. FBA, don't say nothing about the power structure. You constantly trolling them. If you split up the two black sides, they both scared of the powers that be. The only people they address is each other, like some little B words. Am I lying? Am I lying? The ones y'all call Tethers is scared, and the ones y'all call FBA is scared. That's what I say. Ask me something intelligent. Don't ask me no stupid, hating ass questions. Ask me something and say, what do you say? Don't worry about what I say. I'm saying what I say. When I'm saying what I say, I'm saying what I say. So what I'm saying is what I'm saying. So don't ask me what I'm saying while I'm saying something. Get it? I'm saying something right now. Take that in. Don't ask me what I say about nothing else than what I'm saying while I'm saying it. Because when you ask me what I say about something, to me, it sounds like shut up and change the subject and go in your direction, which I'm not finna do. I'm saying what I'm saying. Now, if you got something to say about that, go on your social media and say it. But we're not doing that tonight. We're not doing that tonight. I'm saying what I'm saying. Either listen to what I'm saying or log off. But don't be requesting me to say nothing else but what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying already. Yeah, I'm saying what I'm saying. What you got to say about what I'm saying is the question. Don't worry about me, what I think about what you want me to think about. No, I'm not thinking about what you want me to think about and what you want me to answer. No, I'm not jumping rope for you. No. You over here, I'm running this. I'm saying what I'm saying. I'm not saying what you want me to say. I'm not doing none of that. Listen or log off. It's real simple. I'm saying what I'm saying already. So I'm saying what I'm saying. You come over here and ask me what I got to say about what I'm not saying. Listen, I'm saying what I'm saying. Somebody come over here and ask me what I got to say about what I'm not saying while I'm saying what I'm saying. To me, that sounds like stop saying what I'm saying and let you distract me on what you want. That's what it sounds like to me. To me, it sounds like I'm not listening to you. I want you to address me. That's what it sounds like to me. To me, it sounds like disrespect if I'm talking and you interrupt me and ask me to address something you talking about. To me, that's disrespect. I don't know how you take it. I'm already talking. Why didn't you just come and say change the subject? Because that's what you want. Y'all, that don't mean change the subject. What that mean? When I'm talking and they come ask me a question, don't that mean change the subject? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Come on with some real stuff. Listen, it's midnight. It's Friday, August 14th. Come with something real. Come with some real stuff. Yeah, it's different. This is a different live. This ain't all other lives. This live is turned all the way up. You gotta come with tonight. You gotta come with some real stuff. A lot of times I let y'all ask questions and do all kind of goofy stuff, and I'll go ahead and play along. But tonight, now we're not doing none of that. Come with it. Come with some real stuff. Stay on subject. Address what I'm saying or be quiet. Now, we're not what about this and what about that, and we're not doing that tonight. Let's get that part straight. You're going to come in where we at, and you're going to add to where we at, or you're going to be quiet. A period. That's it. Log your ass in or log your ass out. You understand what I'm saying? Tell me I'm not real. Answer this. Because people ask me to say something. When I ask y'all, I don't get no response. That's disrespectful too. Do you believe that the reparations movement is doing fine? Do you believe that the reparations movement is doing fine? Yes or no? Are you happy with our progress? Do you think we pushing hard enough? Who thinks that we pushing hard enough for reparations? Because I say no. We willing to talk about Tasha K, but we ain't standing on what we standing on. To me, it's getting real frustrating. It's like, okay, every year, what we gonna do? Every year we gonna do this? Here we go. Another year go by. What do we accomplish when it comes to reparations? Nothing. Next year gonna come. Next thing you know, it's over. Nothing. The next year, nothing. You start beefing about the election, some distraction. What movement? What movement? You got movement? How many times have you posted reparations on your social media in the last 3 months? Tell me your movement. This one I'm talking about. Ain't no, just admit it. You don't got no movement. You ain't been posting it. That's fine. I know that already. But think about that. You're saying they block a movement, but you ain't pushing no movement. Am I lying? Robbie, I don't believe you pushing no movement. I don't believe it. I don't believe you got no reparations movement on none of your social media. I don't believe it. What movement? You ain't got no movement. You got movement. Just say you wrong, bro. I push it all the time. I'm going to respect that. I say you're not. I say you're talking about a movement, but you're not moving. And that's the problem. I don't believe you're moving, Robbie. Am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong. I do not believe you've been pushing reparations. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe if I go to your social media, I won't see reparations nowhere. I don't, I, I don't believe it. Influence have shamed FBA reparations calling begging for a handout. What that got to do with you pushing for it? What that got to do with you pushing for it? And then that's wrong. Because, okay, he said influencers, right? Now, break that down. He said influencers have shamed FBA. Now, if I'm on here pushing for reparations, let me ask y'all a question. Am I an influencer? Yes. So how could you say influencers shaming us when influencers is pushing for it? You mean some influencers? Because they ain't the only influencers. Then the question be like, well, where's the reparations influencers? So if there's 50 influencers shaming you and only 10 of y'all pushing it, is it the fact that influencers shaming you, or is it the fact there's more influencers shaming you than there are influencers telling them to shut up? Which one is it? Because the influencers, FBA influencers, supposed to be telling them to shut up, and they supposed to be saying every time we speak against reparations, the reparations influencers tell her to shut up. Why it ain't going in that direction? How you let influencers punk you? Because that's what it sound like. It sound like you're saying the influencers be punking us. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. If I post reparations and an influencer say something to me, call me begging, how that's going to go? Put it in the chat. How that going to go? Listen, if I go on any of my social media and push for reparations and an influencer try to call me a beggar, who going to take the L? Me or that influencer? Who going to take the L? Who going to take the L? Me? Who going to take the L? When it's over, who going to take the L? I'm just asking. If I push for reparations and an influencer come over there trying to say I'm begging, who gonna take the L? Who gonna get offline and say, oh, that I'm messing with the wrong one. He ain't going. Who gonna take the L? Face to face. If I push for reparation, you're an influencer, you try to call me a beggar, who gonna take the L? Who gonna take the L face to face? Face to face. If I say I'm pushing for reparation and you try to call me a beggar, who gonna take the L? Who y'all think gonna take the L? Y'all think anybody out here got the nerves to stand in front of my face when I'm asking for reparation and call me a beggar? I'm gonna take that the wrong way though. I'm gonna take that the wrong way. I'm gonna take that the wrong way. I'll say so I won't, but you will. They can punk you. Okay, I get it. I get it. I'll stand up, but you won't. I get it. Speak for yourself. Don't say not many. Just say you won't. Stand on business. I'll be talking riddles tonight. You say, I will. and you said you won't. Because the other thing is, if you would have said, I'll do the same thing. That ain't what you said. So when I read between the lines, you said you won't. You said you'll bow down because you can only speak for yourself. So you say you would, but others like me won't. That's what you just said. You just said you won't. I'm going to be nice, and I'm not going to tell you what I think you is, because you might. You definitely said that. You definitely said that. You definitely said that. Listen, let me show you the right answer. Yeah, you'll stand on business, and I will too. If you didn't say I will too, it means you won't. This big Pharaoh. Listen, y'all, if he didn't say, if he said, obviously not you, but you're only one person, which means it ain't two of us, right? Listen, I'm good at words. When he said you're only one person, that means you're just by yourself, which means he not with it. Am I correct or incorrect? Ivy's intelligent. Did he not admit that I'm by myself and he ain't with it? That's what he just said. He said, you're the only one. That's what he said, which means he ain't with it. That's what he just said. Now, maybe he don't know what he just said. He just said, yeah, you did. You said you're not with it. You said, obviously not you, but you're only one person. Not many like pushing reparations. That means you soft. You soft. Because if you were strong, you would have been like, I heard that. I'm standing on it too. You was like, yeah, but you the only one. But a lot of people ain't gonna do it. That sounds strong? Hey, y'all, that sounds strong? Yeah, you'll stand on it, but a lot of people won't stand like that. You just one person. That don't sound soft. He copping please. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. He copping please. He said he ain't on it. He said, I'm the only one. Yeah, I'm the only one. If I got to wait on you, you just let me know I'm the only one. Let me show you the problem with that. Let me show you the problem with that. Look, let me show you the problem with this statement. Obviously not you, but you're only one person, not many like pushing reparations. Now, let me ask y'all something. When those of us push it and we get it, how many people will go get the money, though? Put it in the chat. When those that's only like me and we push and get it, how many people will go get the money? How many people will go get the money? Let's answer that part. Let's just go right to that part. How many people are jump their ass in line for the money? Include him if he could get it. Truth, lies, reality. How many people will go get the money? If they sit back and let the other people get it, will a lot of people go get the money that didn't stand up for it? Yes or no? Once again, did a lot of people that didn't push for it run to get in the front of the line to get it after they didn't push for it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Well, a lot of people, you said I'm one of the only ones. But if I'm one of the only ones and I get it, shouldn't I be the only one go get it? No. But will I be the only one when I get it? When we get it, will I be the only one? You see, I'm proving my point. See, I'm proving my point. All of them people that didn't go gonna be the first ones trying to get in line. Of course, he won't address that part. That part, they want me to just move on. Because once those of us, we the only ones until it's time to go get the check. When we go get the check, we won't be the only ones. Address that part. I'm with it. Let's address that part. I'm agree with what you say. Let's address that part. What you think about that part? What you think about the part of everybody running to get it, but leaving the rest of us out there to fight for it? What you think about that part? Speak on that part. Speak on that part. What's his name? Don't run. What's your name? Speak on that part. What's your thoughts on everybody going to get it when it's gotten? What you think about that part? What you think about everybody running to get it when it's gotten? What you got to say about that? You cool with that? Do you got anything to say against people like that? Because that's what I'm saying. Checkmate. I'm saying everybody stand up. You said everybody gonna stand up. So now, should people go get it that didn't stand up? Yes or no? Should people go? Because according to you, they ain't gonna stand up. So I'm asking you, should they go get money? Should they let everybody else do the work and go be the first one in line? Yes or no? We playing hardball. We're not playing over here. Yes or no? Because you can't have it both ways. You said I'm the only one, then I should be the only one get the money. Correct? I should get yours too. I should get yours. Yes, I should get yours too. If you one of the ones don't go. How old are you? How old are you? What year you was born? We shutting all nonsense down today. What year you was born? What year was you born? I was born in 1958. What year you was born? 1972? Okay, talk about what you know. You don't know what you're talking about. You wasn't 10 till 1982. Make believe. Next, he don't know what he talking about. He wasn't even here. He don't know what you're talking about. He guessed. He wasn't 10 years old to 1982. That's 20 years after 62. He don't know a damn thing. How he speaking about something he wasn't outside, he wasn't here. To somebody that was here. He don't know what he talking about. He don't know what he talking about. MLK had the whole black community, except even the Nation of Islam bag MLK. Malcolm X said if anything happened to MLK, they'll be meet by some people that ain't doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you definitely don't know what you're talking about. You a baby. Stay in a baby's place. Don't be speaking. Don't be speaking. Don't be speaking. Don't be speaking if you wasn't here. Because Big Pharaoh was here. Yeah. And this what Washington D.C. looked like when MLK spoke. Yeah. Yeah, the Million Man March wasn't big like this. This what Washington D.C. looked like when MLK spoke. You don't know what you're talking about. Big Pharaoh. Look, let me tell you something. We do a little history, we get back to it. Martin Luther King was a Baptist through the church. At that time, almost all black people went to church. So this is why the movement was so big, because they was able to contact everybody through the churches. Because back then they didn't have no cell phones. And you had to have somebody, you could call an operator, but you had to have an address in the phone book. But with the phone book, you could find all the churches. So that's why the civil rights movement was so big, because you could find all the churches. So MLK could go to city to city to city and have thousands of people from the churches show up because they could communicate from church to church to church. The civil rights movement still today is the biggest movement in Black America in history in America. These is facts. He don't know what he's talking about. The civil rights movement was built through the church, and all black people went to church in the 60s. Black people was heavy religious in the 60s. And the church was the headquarters for Foundational Black America. That was the headquarters. Everybody went to church. If you, on Sunday, if you left the block, it might be one man that don't go to church, but everybody going to church on Sunday. They might be going to different churches. But in the 60s, black folks went to church. And black folks had a picture of Jesus in their house. Ask somebody. And when you be in the car with your grandmama and it start thundering and lightning, they tell you to be quiet. And they turn all the TVs and shit up in the house. In the car, they tell you to be quiet. Your dad turn off the radio. Yeah. They was super duper religious. As soon as they hear thunder, they turn everything out. My grandmama would say, hush when that man upstairs started talking. So if you want to hear, be quiet. Let me do what I do. Stay in a little boy place. It's Big Pharaoh. I graduated in high school in 76. You were 4 years old. Listening to Reverend Ike. Reverend Ike wasn't that big. He was all right. They listen to their local reverend. Black folks listen to their local reverend. They listen to their local church. Reverend Ike wasn't big like that. Reverend Ike wasn't big like that. Black people listen to their local church. You went to the church in your community. Where the hell Reverend Ike at? He ain't in Chicago. He ain't in Cincinnati. He ain't in LA. He ain't in all the cities. Reverend Ike was a pimp with a small congregation he robbed. He said he was big like MLK. What year was you born? Oh, he wasn't big. No, he wasn't big like nobody. He wasn't, there's a bunch of, he wasn't nobody. Reverend Ike was a nobody, okay? He wasn't nobody. He wasn't nobody. Reverend Ike, Reverend Ike regularly drew in a personal local congregation of about 5,000 parishioners in the United Palace in Washington Heights, Manhattan, right? Now, you got to understand something. Drawing in 5,000 people in New York is nothing because he was in a huge city with millions and millions of people, right? So he was nothing. That was nothing. He had 2.5 million people listen to him on radio and TV. But that was nothing in New York. So comparatively speaking, I'd seen like something, but in New York, that wasn't nothing. And that wasn't nothing. That was a drop in the bucket. New York got millions and millions and millions and millions of people. He used to talk smooth. He had a lot of people listen to him, but that's just in New York. That's just in New York. They got a huge population. So comparatively speaking, he had the same congregation as everybody else. He just had a bigger city. So it make it look like he was bigger because New York got a lot of people. A lot of people don't know how big New York is. New York got a lot of people, man. New York is not a good comparison. New York is not a good comparison, to be honest with you. Like you can't compare. New York is not normal. So, when you start talking about somebody in New York, you know, it's really not fair. New York is not normal. Like 5 million listeners in New York ain't really that big. To be honest, like it's big, but it's no bigger than a pastor in Alabama that get a certain amount of listeners. It would equal to the same percentage as what he getting, basically. It's basically still going to be the same percentage. It's just New York had way more people, and New York had a way more advanced radio. Other places didn't have radio like that. So a lot of his fame had to do with being in New York, having the advantage of modern technology that other cities didn't have. And a lot of old people. And then you also talk about New York, where a lot of people would be less likely to want to travel and would be more reluctant to sit at home and listen too. So I can see having a whole lot of listeners in New York because you ain't finna get on all them trains and stuff to go hear him. You could just turn on the radio. Like New York is the king of broadcasting. But he was big though. He was big and he had a way to preach. So he was big. I ain't gonna take that away from him. But he wasn't no MLK. This is him and this is MLK. If MLK come to New York and speak at the same time speaking, ain't nobody gonna be listening to him. I didn't even nowhere close, I'm telling you, to MLK. MLK was, I can't even tell you. I got friends that still talk about when their grandmama handed him to them. They still talk about my grandmama MLK picked me up. He would have had to be here to know how big dude was. Nelson Mandela was big like MLK. No, he wasn't. Nelson Mandela wasn't big like no damn MLK. You dreaming. Nelson Mandela wasn't bigger than Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela was way bigger than Nelson. Nelson wasn't big. Winnie was big. Nelson was locked up. Nelson was locked up. Winnie Mandela made Nelson famous. Nobody knew Nelson. Everybody knew Winnie. This is Nelson and this is Winnie. Winnie Mandela was 20 times bigger than Nelson Mandela. There is no Nelson Mandela without Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela, the one let everybody know about Nelson. Nobody knew nothing about no Nelson Mandela. He was a nobody. He wasn't nobody. Winnie Mandela made him famous. He was locked up for 26 years. How you think he got famous? That's why we didn't like him when he dumped Winnie. Ask somebody. Tell him Pharaoh said Winnie Mandela was 1,000 times bigger than Nelson. One of my mods put Truth Lies Reality on timeout. He's been trying to reply. Okay. Let me find him. Thanks. Truth, Lies, and Reality. Give me a minute. What are you talking about, though? Because I ain't going to do nothing put his ass back on timeout if he get over here on some bozo shit. What they put him in timeout for? He trolling? He talking too much? He trying to challenge Big Pharaoh? What he was saying? What he was saying? Because they ain't put him on timeout for nothing. He probably over here doing too damn much, but we'll see. He ain't gonna last for 2 seconds if he come over here talking crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me see. He ain't in no timeout. He ain't in timeout. He was probably just in a temporary timeout. Tell him he not in no timeout. He not blocked. He not blocked. So if he was on timeout, he just on a temporary timeout. Tell him he just on temporary. Because they know he not blocked. All right, sweetheart? What is this, a dude? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a female. No, he not blocked, okay? He probably just was on timeout. Tell him he just on timeout. He could come back. But yeah, this was the superstar. And she made Nelson famous. And then he got out and did her dirty. Nelson was a piece of shit. I don't know, but he ain't on timeout. Oh, the one say, obviously not me. I get it. He cool, but he ain't on timeout though. He good. I be slamming people. I be everyone love daddy. I be unnecessarily I be unnecessarily slamming people off. I do that shit too much. I be slamming people off. Yeah, I be doing too much. Tell them I be doing too much. Yeah, tell him I be doing too much. But he ain't blocked though. But yeah, I do be doing that. But then sometimes I can't interpret. I can't really interpret what people be saying. You know what I'm saying? He good though. Let me see. I don't see him. He ain't blocked though. He not blocked. That's his real name. I got Black Man lying over. See, I be having a lot of haters. Y'all don't understand. But he not blocked. I don't see him. Tell him he not blocked. He not blocked. I don't see him. Let me refresh my YouTube and see if I see him. He not blocked though. Yeah, I be misunderstanding people. I be wilding. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I be doing too much. I ain't gonna lie. No, he not blocked though. I didn't block him. I didn't block him. I don't remember blocking him. He might be on timeout. Or maybe somebody put him on timeout. Maybe somebody put him on timeout. Told him he'd be back in a minute though. He'll be back in a minute. But my thing is this. I don't like to push for reparations. I think it's weak. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I don't like where it's going. And you know, it's real irritating because I feel like Black Americans don't understand the importance of reparations. They don't understand how much money we got cheated out of. They don't understand how much is at stake. They don't understand how much further we get when we get what's owed. They also don't understand the benefit to society. Even white America is slow when it comes to reparations. I've been saying that. White Americans who don't want us to get reparations are slow. And the black ones too. Because you can't get no money that ain't in the pot. So if you take reparations and throw it in the pot, everybody get money. So when they always talking about stimulus, reparations is the biggest stimulus in American history. What fool would be against money being thrown out there when everybody could get some of that money? Well, I don't see him. He not blocked. He not blocked. Tell him he not blocked. Maybe he on timeout, but he not blocked. I'm gonna look again. He not blocked though. He not blocked. I know I didn't block him. I know exactly what you're talking about. He ain't did nothing for me to block him. Truth. Do we got another name? Because he not over here. He not blocked. He not blocked. Nope. He's not blocked. Tell him to refresh and wait a minute. But he not blocked. He's not blocked. He might be on timeout. Tell him he not blocked though. Tell him just wait a minute, but he not blocked. He's not blocked. He not blocked. Oh, well, he gonna get off. He be off timeout. But he ain't blocked. Tell him just keep watching. Come back. We ain't finna log off. He all good. Tell him he all good. I didn't block him though. But tell him he all good though. We ain't hating on bro like that. Tell him I ain't hating on him like that. He ain't do nothing that I know of. He all good. Tell him I got love for him. He gonna hear. He all good. I be going off on people. Some of my longest subscribers went through that. Sometimes I gotta be real harsh on my subscribers. I gotta be everyone loves Daddy. I gotta be so hard on my subscribers because they're younger, and I gotta like force the information on them. It's a dirty job, but somebody gotta do it. So y'all, back to what we talking about though is we beefing too much. Like the tether thing is getting on my nerves. Cause it's like tether, 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 tether. And it's like it seems to be a distraction. And I feel like the tether thing is making people join our movement that like that kind of thing. So when we got people that's joining that like the beefing with tethers, that's stopping people from joining that would push reparation. We attracting the wrong crowd. How you gonna get reparations when you attracting the lazy bunch? We need to have less people, but more people that really about paperwork, really about going out here protesting, really about marching, really about campaigning, really about posting on social media for social issues like reparations. We need those. If we just beef them with tethers, first off, we're going to get a whole bunch of Africans and Caribbeans coming beefing back. So now that's a big crowd, right? That's a big crowd that uh that ain't gonna push it anyway. You feel like if we stop voting Democrat, they're going to have to concede and help us put reparations. Stop vote Democrat. They're the ones blocking behind the scenes. I agree 100%, but here's the problem. Not really. Not really. Because the Democrats ain't Americans no more. The Democrats is foreigners. They ain't gonna never give us reparations. We're gonna have to stop voting for them, period. They're not giving us reparations because they're foreigners. The Republicans are Americans. The Democrats is a bunch of foreigners. You see what I'm saying, Robbie? So no matter what, they never gonna give us reparations. Not the Democrats. We have to block the Democrats, not for reparations, but for more Americans to get in the party. We can't block them on the principles of reparations. We got to block them on, we don't want all these foreign people coming to this country and becoming politicians like the mayor of New York. How is he the mayor of New York when he ain't been in America for 10 years? Why should he get the job for somebody that's been in America 30 years, 40 years? Parents been in America 50 years, 100 years. How somebody come over here from a foreign country and step ahead of the line and become mayor? That's going to have affinity, right, for foreigners. So he's going to do everything for foreigners and very little for Americans. That's what he's going to do. Mandani. He going to turn New York to a whole, New York will no longer be a classy city. It'll be over. It'll be just like where he left. He does not have enough blood in the soil to be no mayor of New York over people that been to wars, military men that been to wars and fought for the country. And you let some dude come over here and be mayor that ain't got no blood in the soil. To me, an immigrant should not be able, nobody from an immigrant family should be able to run for political office until the fourth generation. And they be having dual citizenship. Yes. But no matter what, you should not be able to hold an office, not the granddaddy, the daddy, the grandson, the great grandchildren should be the first one to hold office in this country. If I move here from somewhere, I shouldn't be able to hold office. My son and daughter should be able to hold office. Their sons and daughters should not be able to hold office. The next group should be able to hold office. That's what the law should be. The fourth generation should be the first one to hold office because this should be based on generation, and you can't jump in front of other generations. You can't jump in front of generations that have been here since the 1900s, since the late 1800s. How you come here and jump the line? You shouldn't be able to come here and jump the line like that over people that parents fought in. Man, we got people here that their granddad, their great granddaddy fought in Vietnam, and their daddy fought in the Middle East somewhere in Desert Storm. How you gonna be a politician before him? And his great granddaddy and his granddaddy got blood in the soil. That ain't right. That ain't right. That's not right. They ain't served the country or nothing. Madani ain't did nothing for this country. What he did for this country to run New York? That's a travesty. That's what I'm saying. Ain't no way. And they gonna be the boss over somebody that went to war? Imagine if you went to war and you gotta listen to this guy as your mayor. Come on, man. You went to war. You served this country. Your daddy served this country. Your granddaddy served this country. And this dude come from some foreign country. He the mayor of New York. Ain't served nothing. Ain't served nothing. It ain't no way that should happen. I ain't saying they got to be them went to war, but they got to be them been in the country 4 generations. Period. I don't feel Barack Obama should have been president. I was glad he was. I don't feel like he should have been president. His daddy from Africa. How the hell he president? Barack Obama daddy from Africa. He shouldn't have been able to be no president. His daughter's grandchildren should be the first ones to be president. Him, then his daughter, then the grandchildren, and then the next one, the great-grandchildren, should be the first one to be able to run for office. Now, because the mama from here, I'll move it up some. I'll move it up. If the mother been here, I could see with Michelle be here, then not Obama, not his daughters, but the next one, Obama's grandchildren, based on Michelle, the grandchildren. But if both of them is foreigners, it's going to be the great-great-grandchildren. To me. Now, like I said, the mother, we can't take away the fact the mother is served. So, yeah, if your mama, if any of your family was here, we can move it up. We can move it up to the grandchildren, right? So, like if I came here and I'm a foreigner and I got a woman and she from here and we have a baby, that baby can't run. I can't run. But that baby's baby should be able to run based on the mama as an American citizen. Okay, cool. But if both of us is foreigner, it's got to be the baby's baby. It's got to be the great-great-grandchildren. You can't just come here and be no nothing. And ain't none of y'all American. One of y'all got to at least be American. To me. If one of y'all American, 2 generations off. If none of y'all American, 4 generations off. But you can't come here I don't believe I should be able to go to India and be nothing over people that been in India. That don't even make sense. You've been in India. I come to India. I'm a mayor. I'm some politician over Indians that been there. How Madani is the mayor over people that been in this country for a long time. So you telling me I'm born here in 1958. My parents been here forever. You telling me Madani supposed to be able to be the mayor over me? How? Make that make some sense. At that point, it's a foreign country. You put somebody in there that ain't got no blood in the soil or nothing. 4 generations on my soul. You can't come here and cut the line. That's cutting the line. Let the people that been here, that sacrificed, that paid taxes. How much taxes Madani been paying to be a politician in New York? How much money he put into New York? Not a dime. He ain't paid no city taxes in New York. Now he gonna decide the taxes? Somebody that didn't pay none? Come on, man, get him out of there. And watch, he gonna ruin New York. He gonna replace Americans with foreigners. And that's the biggest city in America. And there's gonna be millions and millions and millions of foreigners in New York. Watch. It will not be United States no more. That's a fact. He is going to take over the country. That was a foreign invasion. That's a foreign invasion right there. America gonna regret that. Yeah, America gonna regret that. ICE throwing them out, but he bringing them in. He bringing them in as fast as he throw them out. He gonna give them all. He gonna give them all our tax dollars we've been paying for centuries. He gonna give it to foreigners that ain't paid nothing. And you go there, you're gonna be in a foreign country. It ain't gonna even look like the United States. There's gonna be foreign people everywhere. Watch. And people ain't gonna even want to go to New York no more because it ain't gonna be like visiting America. It ain't gonna be America no more. It ain't gonna have no American feel to it. It's gonna be like going to a foreign country. All the police gonna be foreigners, all that. It ain't gonna be American nowhere. So they think them white Americans ain't going for that. Them white boys ain't going for that. Watch. Watch. If you think a white male in America gonna go for that, you a fool. They not gonna go for it. It's gonna be problems. All them white power groups gonna come to New York. You watch what I'm telling you. It's gonna be real problem. They not gonna let you take New York. Yeah, they do the people of color stuff. Take everything black people was getting. So that's why we got to wake up and do what we got to do. You know, we have to wake up and we have to do what we have to do as foundational Black Americans. We cannot keep playing around. We have to really, just like they doing in Europe. In Europe, they trying to get them out of there. Europe, man, the Europeans is pissed. They try to get them out of there. They'll come have a whole bunch of babies and flood your country out. The whole fabric of your country. And then look at you crazy and start changing their laws and start coming out with Islamic law and all that. Now you go in this area, you're under Sharia law in the United States. On my soul. Rule your whole country, turn your whole country to a foreign country. That's what they'll do. I ain't hating on them. I'm just saying they gonna mess up America. That ain't hate. That's a fact. They not gonna be. They don't want to be Americans anyway. They hate America. They just here to eat. How you let some people in here that hate the country but just here to eat? And the same way they ran over here when they destroy the country, they'll run somewhere else and leave you with a tore up country. Because that's what they are, runners. They just run from here to there to there to there to there. That's all they do. That's all they do. Country hop. Hop from country to country to country. New York will never be the same. It ain't gonna never be the same. Imagine you in New York, you're in a black part of town, and some foreign cops pull up. Some Middle Eastern, Asian cops jumping out. Ask you, what are you doing out here? Well, that ain't gonna work. I know them and black Americans, that's gonna clash. We're gonna clash. We don't know what they're doing in other countries. Yeah, but they ain't never been America's black Americans is a different. They don't know nothing about this. They got a big surprise coming. Yeah, wait till they get a load of black Americans. They ain't never experienced that before. I guarantee you, we're gonna be too much for them. But we not going. You think somebody gonna come here, some foreigner, and talk crazy to me on my turf? I don't care if you're police or whatever. I ain't gonna honor him as no real police. That's another thing. They're not gonna honor you as no police. You're gonna be a foreigner playing police. Police is gonna lose all their authority. I'm telling you. The police will have no respect and no authority. They won't. Because ain't nobody gonna honor you as a police. They're gonna look at you as a foreigner playing police. Ain't nobody gonna honor you like that. I remember when I was in Hawaii, them Asian police used to try to play me. I used to diss them all the time. Dude, if you don't get your ass away from me. And they ain't built like that. They ain't gonna be able to control this country. You know what I'm saying? Black America has got to focus on what we got to do so we can avoid all this. This is the main point. This is why reparations is so serious right now. We need to get our money so we can seal our communities. We have to invest in our communities. We have to get it together now. We have to get money and put our resources into our community and fortify our communities. We got to do it now. Seriously. And we can't be playing around. And what a lot of blacks don't know is white America is going to want to give us reparations for sure. Because white Americans know the only people going to help them keep their country is black Americans because we both Americans. Remember I said it first. That's what, watch. They talking about white Americans going to try to do this to us. White Americans, they can't afford to. They got too many enemies. White America can't afford to bother us right now. White America is going to be coming up with training and school and letting dudes out of prison left and right, training them, turning their life around. Remember I said it first. Watch over the next 6 to 7 years how many black Americans they going to let out of prison and change their life over. You know why? Because without black Americans, it ain't going to be enough Americans. And white Americans are going to get ran over without us. That's a fact. Because one thing white Americans know, With us, ain't none of that going. They know that. White and black Americans together, ain't none of that going. With them two groups right there, ain't none of that popping. They know it. Because they know we America, that's all we know. And them people know Asia and know the Arabic countries, they know that stuff. So they can switch back and forth. We don't got nothing to switch to. All we is America. We don't got no switch. We ain't from Pakistan and we ain't from over there. This what we on. Trump know it. That's why the foreigners is trying to take over the Democrats. The Republicans know what's up. A lot of people be trying to sell black Americans fear the Republicans. I'm telling you, the Republicans is pro-black Americans. They got a couple in there that's racist, but the ones that's running stuff telling the racists will stand down. Watch. There's racists in the Republican Party, but the majority of the whites over there go tell the racists will stand down. Without them, it's a wrap. We got too many other foreigners. We can't alienate the blacks. That's what they're going to tell them. You watch. If you look right now, you can see there's a racist element in the White House. And you can see that Trump ain't really with no anti-black shit. You can see it. He trying to hide it and not make it so obvious. Y'all don't see that? Trump ain't really with no anti-black stuff. I don't know if y'all see it. He not really with it. I ain't saying he loves us, but he not really with going against us. He not really with that. I don't know if y'all see it real slick like. Y'all don't see that? He not with it. So, some of these blacks that's pandering to the Democrats that disagree. But deep down inside, they know I'm right. He not with it. He not with that. The vice president ain't with it either. They're not with that. They know we need these blacks. We need these black Americans. Look, they know we need these black Americans against all these foreigners from these other countries. The only other Americans we got is the black ones. It's only two Americans in this country, white Americans and black Americans. Mexican Americans are too close to Mexico. So they might flip-flop. Who else you got? You ain't got no other kind of Mexicans. Asians is always Asians. They don't never ride with nothing. Tell me I'm lying. Asians is just Asians. They don't ride with nothing. They just, if they Chinese, they just Chinese. They don't give a damn about nothing but Chinese. The only ally outside the white race that white America got is black Americans. That's a fact. And the only ones they got over here, right, that the foreigners are back down to is us. Oh, the humbug on the fighting side. They already know. It's already been tried to test in Vietnam, World War I, World War II, Revolutionary War. Our war skills have already been tried and tested. We really with it. We be doing damage when we go to war. I don't know if y'all know. Ask somebody about Vietnam. The Viet Cong was like, black man go home. That, you know what I'm saying? Desert Storm, all that. Ask somebody. Look at LA, how them Asian and them Hispanic gangs trying to take over LA. Doing all kind of crazy stuff. So Long Beach, the black gangs, the black Crip gangs uniting because it's getting so bad that the black Crip gangs say, listen, we ain't really beef. We got to unite right now. They tripping. Yeah, you got Asian street gangs in LA. That did not exist when I was there because they done let too many foreigners in this country. And see, they got too many different types of Crips. That's why they taking the L. They got too many different types of Crips. That's why they struggling. See, Chicago won't got all that different type of. No, BD is BD, no matter where BD at. They don't different a whole bunch of different BD. It's just BD. GD just GD. Blackstone just Blackstone. Now there's a lot of different type of vice lords, but at the end of the day, they vice lords. And then when everything go down, the vice lords and the Blackstones and everybody on the 5 ride together, and everybody on the 6 ride together. So when anything go down, it's going to be the GDs and the BDs, and it's going to be the vice lords and the Blackstones and the four corner hustlers. And then they're going to be working together, but separately. And it ain't going to be nobody play. White America be dependent on that. See, a lot of people don't know that about white America. They be dependent on us to make sure the country don't get overran. Because we the only Americans, we the only ones been here a long time like them. We've been here forever. We was here before white people got here, to be honest with you. We was already over here, a lot of us. Right? They brought slaves in, but blacks was already here. That's what people be confusing. Act like they didn't bring slaves in. Say we was already here. Not all of us was already here, but we was already here. But they still brought blacks over here. Like, teach the stuff right. Yes, there was blacks already over here, but they brought blacks. Don't say like we was over here, like they didn't bring no blacks over here. You confusing the youth. Because when the way some of these people think, we was already over here making you think slavery never happened. Bruh, it's strong evidence of slavery. Like, how you going to erase slavery? Slavery is documented all through the Caribbean. There's slave ships everywhere. There's slave ships. They just can't move them because they'll fall apart. Come on, there's slave cities. There's Africa Town that kept the history of coming there from slavery. Look it up. Look up Africa Town. Look it up. When you talk to the weirdo Moors and the weirdos that don't know how to tell the history correct, next time somebody tell you nobody came from Africa, go show them this. Go show them Africa Town. Here, this brother was one of the last slaves. Here, they got the slave ships in the ground. They're trying to figure out what they could do to try to figure out how to preserve them. So anybody time somebody start telling you what no slavery and all that, man, what nobody didn't come from Africa. Man, listen, man. Everybody didn't come from Africa, but there's definitely people here from Africa. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They try to say, it ain't no Africa. I say, bruh, it's a whole Africa town that know their history. Are you kidding me? They know they was the last slave ships was there. All of that. I'm going to Africa Town next year. I already got my mindset. Next summer, I'm going to Africa Town for sure. I got to go see that. That's. I just want to see it. I just want to go there and meet the people because they know they all descended from the last slave that came here. A lot of them are still there. I just want to go talk to them and see them. I got to see that with my own eyes. I got to go there and see that. I ain't lying. A lot of people think that when it's history, it's either this or that, when usually it's all of it. So foundational Black Americans, we like, we Native Americans, we not Africans. No, you're all of that. You're an amalgamation of a lot of different Black stuff and white. You white and all the different Blacks and red. You know what I'm saying? That's why we supermen and superwomen. That's a whole nother video for another day. But look, why is the word tethers more popular than the word reparations? What up, famo? I hope you're doing all right. I got to call you in a couple of days. Where's Africa Town? Africa Town is located about 3 miles north of downtown Mobile, Alabama, right? Where I'm from. My family from Mobile, Alabama, Birmingham, Uniontown, right? So that's why I say I gotta go, because you know how many times I've been to Mobile and didn't know that was there? But I was a kid. But when me and my cousin go this summer, we might go this winter actually. We might go in the fall. Yeah, it's just 3 miles north of downtown Mobile, Alabama, along the west bank of the Mobile River, also known as Plateau. This historic community sits near the Cochrane Africa Town Bridge and is where you can find the African Town Heritage House. Yeah, right where my people is from. That's what I try to tell you. But see, you got, but see, this the thing. When they there, the Sioux was there, right? Because that's also Sioux territory. That's why I keep telling y'all I'm mixed with Sioux and African because they was breeding. Alabama is a lot of Sioux. See, they don't even got them listed. They don't even got them listed. They got the Greek Muskogee. They got the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, along with the Alibamu. Look, Alibamu sound like Alabama, don't it? Hey, look, on my soul, look at this, man. They got a tribe called Alibamu. Listen, ain't that where they got Alabama from? Along with the Alibamu. That's Alabama. Get the hell out of here. Wow. Now they saying there were historically no Sioux in Alabama. They was in Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota homeland. The Sioux people live primarily in the Great Plains, upper Midwest region, such as Dakotas, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Montana. So they said the Sioux ain't from there. So I don't know how my grandmama and them ended up there. I don't know. I don't know how they ended up down there. They might have moved down there. I don't know. Look, the word Alabama is believed to come from the Alabama tribe. That's deep. So my grandmama might have been an Alabama. Maybe they didn't know what the hell she was. Hold on. What the hell? Oh. I need to look into this one day. I ain't gonna do it right now while y'all watching. You know, when you're doing this research, it'll say one thing, but then when you keep researching, it'll say something else. Very interesting. Oh, y'all from Tuscaloosa, so you probably my cousin. That's why we don't can't be beefing on social media, because we go to Tuscaloosa and find out that one of my cousins that married one of my female cousins married one of your male cousins. See what I'm saying, Mr. Troy? Real talk. When you go to Alabama, they tell you can't just be kissing these girls. You got to find out who. I go down there, you probably a relative because they moved when they was down there. They moved all over Alabama, so they all over the place. They in Montgomery, they in Tuscaloosa, they all over. Like when you go down there to visit your family, when we used to go visit our family, we used to have to go to 4 or 5 places to see everybody. Cause like they'll have some teenage girls, they get a high school, they go to college in one of the other cities. So now your cousin might be in Montgomery, but you in Uniontown or you in Birmingham, but we had to go to Montgomery to visit people. We had to go to Decatur to visit people. We had to go here to visit people. Cause like a cousin could get married to a man that live over there or got a job in another city. So they always say, you got to be careful when you go down there because everybody everywhere. But for sure, if we not relatives, your relatives is around somebody that's my relative for sure, for absolute sure. Because everybody there is relatives or a neighbor of your relative. Your relatives all over the place through marriage or through birth. On my soul. in Alabama. When you go to Alabama, when I used to go, they used to tell you that. Like, listen, everybody down here might be your cousin. You got to check who these people is. They used to tell me that when I was a little boy. They'd be like, don't be kissing these girls till you find out who she is. We don't want no kissing cousins. They used to call them kissing cousins. That's why the beefing don't be no good. I had a friend here in Chicago, y'all, right? And his brother got shot and unalive. And they caught the boy that shot him, right? So when they went to the funeral, the boy that got shot and unalive was there. And the shooter's family was there, but they was there because that was their relative. So now when they get to the funeral, they found out that their son had unalived their cousin. Because when they come to the funeral and they see the boy that's unalive, they realize their son got charged for that. So they just start crying. So everybody want to know why the mama start crying like that all loud, why the preacher's preaching. Come to find out, she found out that her son had unalived his cousin. And the cousin he unalived, her mother was real close to the other one's mother. Oh my soul, you can't make this up. So the two mothers was close. So when they got there and found that out, they said that's one of the saddest funerals in history. Because the boy didn't know that was his cousin. And he had unalived his own cousin. His cousin was at the funeral. He was in prison. And the two mamas was at the funeral. They was all messed up. Because the boy that got unalived, his mama knew the little boy in prison for years when he was little. But they had lived in different places in Chicago, so the boys didn't know. Man, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. So look, y'all, to end it off, we really got to focus. You know, I know y'all think I'm tripping with reparations, but let me explain why I'm tripping. I feel like we need to hurry up and get reparations before this country go into a cashless society. Because if this country go into a cashless society, then they're going to want to give you digits instead of your money. I feel like foundational Black Americans need to push for reparations real hard so we can get that money and fortify ourselves for the future. Do we have a plan of action? No. We don't have a plan of action. We don't even have everybody focused to do it. This is why nothing gets done. Because ancient African king, we can't get nobody to be focused. We got too many brothers with too many different belief systems. Can't depend on them. They all over the place. So you can't depend on them. So a lot of our brothers with great mind, they too much different stuff. And nobody want to let their stuff go. Everybody want to talk make-believe stuff. So you can't get them to do nothing. Because a lot of brothers just hell-bent argumentative. They won't drop their philosophies for the betterment of the people. Something I've been dealing with for years and years and years. That brothers pick up weird philosophies knowing that those are never going to catch on, and they just hang on to them, and then we can't build nothing. because they spend time pushing dead ass philosophies that ain't about no money, ain't about no housing, ain't about no food or nothing. So it's hard to get the black man to even focus on it. He has become so argumentative. You know what I'm saying? He becomes so argumentative that he neglecting his people. And I've been seeing this for years and years and years and years. I've always been trying not to be involved with nothing that makes it too difficult to work with me. But brothers be hell bent on ideologies. They don't be on the actual fact of the housing, the food, the shelter, the children we got already. Those children can't wait on us to figure it out. You know, the baby got to go to school now. They ain't got time for me to. They ain't got time for me to be philosophized. The women got to be protected now. The homes got to be taken care of now. Then we can do with that philosophizing later. We're doing a bunch of philosophizing, but what about housing? What about food? What about that? No. Brothers is arguing over who's the more, who's this, who's that. Brothers talking about Africa and never go. I've been around brothers been talking about Africa for 40 years. They never went. That's a waste of time. So we time just wasting. We can't get the black man to get together and do nothing. If he ain't arguing over philosophy, he gang banging. He banging. The baby's banging. Boy, you ain't nothing but 17 talking about you a BD, you a GD, you a crib, you a boy. Little boys. Can't get them to do nothing. The black man, he'll sleep with any woman, so you can't do work with your brother because he won't sleep with your wife. How you going to work with somebody that act like he never seen a woman before? So you can't work with the brothers because you got to hide your wife. They got no decency or nothing. You got a bunch of weird-ass brothers ain't never got no woman. So every time you get around a woman, they looking for one like, bro, why you ain't got a woman already? So we got all these problems. Meanwhile, we being hunted down and we being like preyed on by another entity. They gonna go get themselves together. We not. And it's just a big old mess. Can't get nothing done. So no, they got nothing. They too busy just saying the same stuff over and over, bro. They be saying the same stuff over and over. It's just like, okay, you want reparations, you got all these different reparations groups. Then they want to waste a bunch of time beefing with the Africans, beefing with the Caribbeans, all of them beefing, none of them ready to survive. None of them. And that black man will not put his differences aside for the babies. You raise your babies to follow that bullshit too. The babies just babies. We won't let the babies be babies. Now the baby got to be a Moor. The baby got to be NOI. The baby got to be this. The baby, we raise the kids to be weird shit too. Instead of just black people trying to survive. Like anybody with any common sense know that all the black men gonna have to get together and survive. We ain't gonna be able to be no different stuff. Like that stuff gonna have to go out in the garbage can. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna need food, shelter, weapons to defend yourself. You ain't gonna be able to be no weirdo stuff. We gotta wait till the system fall on our head before we stop being weirdos and be men and make sure we got food, clothing, shelter, security. There gotta be rules where brothers don't bring up certain conversations. Right now, we could get together, brothers, start working to build something. They're gonna start discussing these ideologies. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So nothing can get done. Like, bro, why you bring that up? You know what I'm saying? Why is you bringing that up? Like, what? What we doing? So that's why I always been open. I never picked no ideology like that that mean nothing like that. Cause I felt like it's stagnant. Once I'm hell bent that I'm this, I ain't worth nothing. So that's why I ain't really with the philosophies like that. If it ain't like health, if it ain't like I'm not gonna debate to take care of our health. We know we can't eat artificial flavors, artificial colors, preservatives. We know that. What we gonna play stupid with that too? So we just far behind. Far behind. We just the black man he ain't got no leadership roles. He don't want to do leadership. If he had leadership qualities, bro, he would know it's gonna need a lot of people to lead. Anybody that know leadership know can't be no one leader. No, it got to be a whole squadron of people. Leaders, we got to each platoon got to have a leader. Each platoon got to have a leader. All the platoons got to be in line. And you can't a divided group of people can't fight a united group of people. How you gonna win? The other people they don't do religion. They do war. They don't do religion. They the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine. Boy, your religion you talk about that when you get out of the military. Boy, you can't go in the military and be no Christian and Muslim and all that. You can on your own quietly, but you're a Marine, boy. You in the Air Force first. You can't be none of that. Not like that. Not where you got that on your sleeve when you out there. We on the battlefield. But black folks, I guess we'll learn eventually. But when it comes to reparations, any black man that ain't pushing reparations is dumb as a goddamn rock. You know you slow. If I'm an African from Africa and I don't get reparations, I'm in this country. What make me think it's not going to be better for me if black Americans get reparations? If black Americans get reparations, right? When black people do reparations, right? Then everybody gonna benefit. How we gonna make a president give us the FBA Reparations Act? We can't really make no president really do nothing like that until the movement is bigger. The movement too small. So the movement is too small. The movement is too small. When we look at it in terms of reparations, the movement ain't big enough to get no reparations. So we have to grow the movement stage. The movement is way too small to get reparations. It's not enough of us. It's not enough of us. There's too many black men speaking against it. So we got a lot of work to do. Because as fast as you say reparations, you got some black men. We don't need no reparations. They ain't big enough for the reparations. So we got a long way to go. But it can happen. But we just got to keep building the movement. Basically. That's a good question, though. But the movement is not there. The work we putting on now is there. The movement is not there. And the reason the movement is not there, because we never had the means to grow the movement. So we only really got the means to grow the movement a few years ago when Instagram popped up. So now that we're really getting used to social media, this is the first time grow the movement. I give you an example. Without YouTube and the chat, ain't no way me and you will be talking, right? So the fact that me and you is talking, no matter where we live at, is showing you we just getting to the point where you and I can communicate. You see what I'm saying? So this is the first opportunity we've had to push reparations. We've never had an opportunity to push reparations because we never had no national or international forms of communication till now. So that's why reparations now is in the birth stages because we just dealing with the chat. We just dealing with Instagram. This is all new. Like I remember when I first started going live on YouTube, it wasn't hardly nobody in no chat or nothing like that. I wasn't even live streaming. We was making pre-recorded videos and uploading them. When I first started, all my videos was pre-recorded. So, bro, we just now getting to the era where we can push reparations. So that's why it don't look like it's where it's supposed to be, but it's exactly where it's supposed to be because we just got here. We just got this. My first opportunity to really spread it. It was no opportunity to spread this. Shoot, what even 5 years ago, we didn't have social media up to this point like this, kind of a little bit, but not really. I think this is the best. The last years been the best years to do something like that. I think even 3 years ago, we wasn't quite there with the social media. I'm on StreamYard. I don't think they even had a StreamYard. I'm on StreamYard. I'm live streaming on both Facebooks, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Kick. I'm streaming on 6 platforms. We ain't never had that before, bro. Right? So we really just getting to the point where we can push it. But it's growing quickly. It's definitely growing quickly. But we got a lot more work to do. We need to put pressure on the lawmakers. The first thing we need to do is become a we. So yeah, the first thing we got to do is become a we. I get that all the time. They say we, but we not a we. That's why I did the video, Who the Fuck is We? Because we not a we. You know what I'm saying? The first thing we got to do, brethren, is become a we. That's the first thing. We not a we. Right? So if we not a we, I can't get us to do nothing because it's not a us yet. You see what I'm saying? There's nobody we could say, hey y'all, let's do this. That group don't exist. Like, let me give you a better example. Let's say you want to start a business right now. It wouldn't be easy because it ain't no y'all. It ain't no we. So like, imagine if you try to start a business right now. Who would be the we when you say, if you said we need to start a business, you're talking about yourself. Who would be we? It's the same way with this. The same way if you want to start a business and you be like, well, damn, who will start it? That's the same way with reparations. Damn, who's available? Because many of us, we don't even live by each other. Many of us, we work different shifts. Many of us, our free time ain't at the same time. So it's a lot to it. Can we say, let's meet in Washington? Who could do it? Very few. And right now, if I say, yeah, we're going to meet in Washington in 3 months, it'll be a ragtag group out there, but it wouldn't be enough to make no noise. So we building the reparations movement. It's not there yet. It's not there. And that's what I've been talking about. It's too many people been talking about tethers. And there ain't even no strong talk about reparations. There's a lot of talk about tethers and other stuff. You know, a lot of black men is talking about LeBron. How we gonna get them to talk about reparations? A lot of black men is talk about the NBA, the NFL. A lot of black men are talking about YouTube. Look, this will prove my point. Let's go to YouTube and see what everybody's talking about. Right? Okay. This will tell the whole story. Look where everybody's mind is at. What do we got? Gaming, streaming. Kawan White will take a plea bargain. Big Mike. The boycott reaches Tasha K. Why some sisters dressing like garden tools in public. I mean, look, we got Tariq standing on business, but look at everybody else. I mean, everybody's all over the place. And that's just subscriptions. If I just go to just straight YouTube and not my subscription, it's the same thing. You're not going to go here and see no whole bunch of people talking about no reparations or nothing. Look what's over here. Bog said, I mean, it's the real world. WAC 100, Black America delineation, that's one person. Dozens need rescuing from the store. I mean, if you're on the internet, like I'm on the internet, like we ain't into no, particular mindset like that. As a matter of fact, when I talk about this, I get very few views. It's 85 people over here. If I was talking about some gossip, it'd be 300 people over here. So we don't even have people that's interested in this like that. They ain't interested. When this video's done, it probably have 1,500 views. That's it. Some people have 1,500 views right now. That's why I moved my vegan channel. I move all my vegan stuff from over here. Because if I was over here talking about vegan, it'd only be 30 people over here. Like people are not listening to serious conversations too much. Even this conversation, a lot of people going to log off because I'm not disrespecting Tethers. Now, if I was over here dissing Tethers, I'd probably have 200 people. But because it's something intelligent and balanced, they're not really interested. That's why a lot of times I could go off subject or whatever, because only a few people is really interested anyway. We don't really have what we be thinking we got. You know what I'm saying? We ain't there, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you're on the right page, but we not there. You know, get on social media, start working your number. You'll see. Start talking on social media. You'll see. It's going to take you forever to get 50 people to watch. Especially if you're talking something serious. Boy, it's going to take a long time. Because they want to talk about where LeBron James going and stuff like that. That's what they on, bro. Holocaust reparations, you got to understand. In America, there's 300-some million people. There's 200-some million white people. It's only 50 million black Americans. How 50 million black Americans going to do what 200-some million whites going to do? Just the sheer numbers. The Jewish people got a whole country. Black Americans ain't got no country. So that's not even, that's apples and oranges. The Jewish people all on the news, got the news media and stuff. We don't got none of that. We got to do this for what we got. So we don't have anything that any of that stuff have. That's you say the state of Israel. Name our state as Black Americans. You said West Germany. You said whole country. We just black Americans. We 50 million in another country. So there's nothing we got to match that to do what they did. Like we don't got what they got to do what they did. All the platforms white people is their platform. This is their platform. This ain't even our platform. This not our platform. We don't control the satellites. We don't control none of this. This Europeans control this. How we gonna get accomplished what they get accomplished? That can't happen. The only way we could get something accomplished is push it till we could at least get 30 million black Americans on it. It'd be nice if we can get 40 million. There's 50 million of us, but that's like pulling teeth. But we could try and appeal to the government where they see it benefit. If we get that money, it go back into the system. But you know how hard it is going to be to get, if it's 50 million black Americans, you know how hard it's going to be to get 25 million to stand up for reparations? We're going to get there, but it's going to take a minute, especially if we got a bunch of people running for office that's black immigrants that don't get reparations. Because all the blacks here that don't get reparations, they not going to help us. Jamaicans ain't going to help us get it. No Africans, nobody that don't get it going to have half. If they half and half, if they mama African, they daddy black American, they ain't going to help us. The only ones going to really want to get it is foundation black American, and only a small portion of them are serious about anything in life. You ain't going to be able to get no woman watching a housewife of Atlanta to really function on reparations. That's not going to happen. So when you look at it realistically, like those of us out there pushing it, we know what we up against. We up against something. All you gotta do is go look on YouTube. You're gonna see very few of us talking about reparations. Not enough to get it, but if we work and get it, everybody, because everybody want to eat the cake. Everybody want to eat the cake. But you know what? Nobody want to cook it. Nobody want to bake it. Victory.